Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
If you're grumpy and you know it, wear a mask. If you're grumpy and you know it, wear a mask. If you wish you could be smiling, but the stresses keep on piling. If you're grumpy and you know it, wear a mask. If you love your independence, stay at home, 'cause you're happiest when you are on your own. If you just need an excuse, say you're scared to leave the house. If you love your independence, stay at home. If you're in a Zoom call you don't want to be in, 'cause they're bringing back the quizzes every evening. Fake a power cut and go, no one's ever gonna know. Don't stay in a Zoom call you don't want to be in. Things are weird right now, but it'll be okay. We just have to take it day by day. By day, grab your wine or grab a tea, have a sing along with me. Things are weird right now, but it'll be okay.
Thank you, Steph. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Stephanie McGarry performing a parody of If You're Happy and You Know It, Clap Your Hands. Hello, everybody, and welcome tonight to our Arts for Essential Workers September 2020 performance. I'm Nelson McMillan, founder of afew and your host tonight. We've got 5 acts coming up for you, 2 musical theatre and 3 original written dramatic theatre acts. Now, a quick note about those performances. We are operating as a startup theatre company on a shoestring budget. Now, with that, we have had, obviously, as a result of that, minimal rehearsal time. But at the same time, I can't promise you any special effects, dazzling costumes, or even eye-catching set designs and amazing lighting. But what we do have is a brilliant ensemble of talent, some great original writing, and we have your imagination coupled with Arts for Essential Workers values, which are to ensure that our theatre that we present you is always accessible, interactive, and relevant. Now, to talk a little bit more about that, I want to introduce you to our creative director, Katie, our artistic director, to talk through the creative side of things, Katie Cool. Katie, hello.
Hello! Thank you so much, Nelson. Yes, tonight's theme, if Steph's absolute banger didn't give it away, is teachers and education. And our teachers have been absolute troopers the past few months, and always, really. It's our teachers, our favourite teachers, that inspire us to go on and do what we do. And so it felt only fitting that we celebrate our teachers here at Arts for Essential Workers. Now, tonight, as Nelson said, we have a wonderful mix of music and theatre. We jump into the traditional classroom setting where we see the mad and wonderful. We visit a new generation of education where we look at vlogging and YouTube tutorials. And then we take a look at what it means to be a teacher today. Just such wonderful pieces and such a wide array of talent for you tonight. I'm very, very proud of the work that we've created. So without further ado, let's get this show on the road.
So much for that creative introduction, Katie. Katie will be back for the final Q&A panel, which we'll finish with. So if you have got questions, creative-related questions for our AD, please save them up till then. And talking of which, we would love to be doing this in a proper setting. Well, I say proper setting, I mean a live theatre face-to-face with you. We don't have that, so we're making the best of what we've got with digital technology tonight. I know you're joining us on either Facebook or YouTube Live, and if you're on those platforms, please do interact with us this evening by typing in your comments, applause, your questions, and even if you feel brave enough, I implore you to maybe share a story or two if the music and the writing triggers that. Why? Well, I remember learning once that apparently we learn so much when we listen, but I've always found that in addition to that, taking action on what we listen to and sharing in the sense tonight actually creates a deeper level of understanding for me. So we're going to try that tonight, and if you do feel that you can share a story, or if you want to share any questions, then again, please post away on YouTube and Facebook. Now on to our first act. I'm starting with a quick question for you guys. If anyone gets this question right, by the way, the first person who does get it right, we've got a little prize for you. So the question is, whose voice features in the award-winning app Zombies Run? Whose voice features in the award-winning app Zombies Run? Any answers in studio? No? Oh, we can't give it forever. Time is 3, 2, 1, up. It's Charlie Afia, of course. Now, Charlie is our first actor on stage tonight, and she trained at the International School of Screen Acting and spent her early years living in Ghana before moving to Surrey in the UK. Aside from acting, you will probably find Charlie cuddling a dog on her yoga mat, or, when lockdown travel restrictions one day again permit, on a beach somewhere in the world. Charlie will be performing a piece written by the actor, musician, and writer Alex Allison. The piece is titled Understudy Angel, which sees a teacher trying to throw together a nativity play with an unruly, shall we say, class. Over to you, Charlie.
We have a problem, a big problem. I'm a teacher, an educator, a secondary school messiah, but I'm definitely not an angel, despite what the construction worker down the road thinks. Admittedly, this wouldn't be happening had I told Janie that aggressively throwing baby Jesus across the stage was in fact wrong. But it was just so funny in rehearsals. She's a terrible thrower, so I should have known really. Imagine a small seal trying to throw something, stick a pair of braids on it, and that's Janie. And for some reason, Brady Seal turned into Miss Trunchbull during dress rehearsals, and turns out what comes up must come down. On Melissa's head, apparently. Oh, she's fine. Bit of a drama queen, to be honest. She's on her way to the hospital, and now I have to go on as the Angel Gabriel. I'm going to have to improvise my lines. What's an angel supposed to say? Don't throw doth their baby. Reach for the stars, but with your arms, not your whole body. Dream big, baby Jesus. Just sounds patronising. Oh no. Now they're setting fire to the star. It's accurate to the nature of the star, I'll give them that. But just because Cirque du Soleil does it, doesn't mean we can. I've tried telling them, but they're all rather ambitious, and I don't want to crush any dreams, you know? Don't tell Janie, but there is no way she's getting in. Not after last year's performance of Oliver Twist. I personally think that being a teacher is so hard. I'm not looking for pity or sympathy or anything. It's just a lot sometimes, you know? There's one of me and like 20 of them, and they're miniature people, so it's worse. You don't always notice when one goes missing. 1 minute, Timothy was playing Joseph. The next, he's plugging himself into the Christmas tree plug socket. We even had to phone the fire brigade last week because Flora got herself trapped under the stage. I still don't quite know how that happened. But we've got the 3 wise men in isolation under thorough investigation. So one of them is bound to crack soon. It's a lot of responsibility to nurture these kids into fully functioning adults. Well, it makes sense why we end up the way we do, I suppose. Well, let's get this show on the road.
Thank you, Charlie, for that. That was amazing. Slight technical hitch there. I forgot to hit the mute button off, but here we go. We're back. By the way, if you've got questions or points or applause or compliments for Charlie, again, please put it into the YouTube or Facebook live chat. If you're watching this recorded, again, feel free to comment because we always get back to you and share those lovely words that you pass to our artists. Charlie will be back shortly for a kind of early Q&A that we're going to be holding. But before that, we've got our second act up for you, which is a little bit of musical theatre, actually. And in that, we have Demi Morgan. Now, Demi is represented by Nicola Bolton Management and is a musical theatre graduate from the Arden School of Theatre, where she has acted as the understudy of Hope Gladwell in Urinetown, the musical, in her final year production. Tonight, Demi is singing Far From Home I Love, written by Charlie Topol and Michelle Marsh, and from the musical Fiddler on the Roof. Demi, welcome, and over to
How can I hope to make you understand why I do what I do? Why I must travel to a distant land, far from the home I love. Once I was happily content to be as I was, where I was, close to the people who are close to me, here in the home I love. Who could see that a man would come who would change the shape of my dreams? Helpless now I stand with him, watching older dreams grow dim. Oh, what a melancholy choice this is, wanting home, wanting him, closing my heart to every hope but his, leaving the home I love. There where my heart had settled long ago, I must go, I must go. Who could imagine I'd be wandering so far from the home I love? Yet there with my love I'm home.
Bravo, Demi, bravo. What a song and what a voice, I have to say. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've got questions for Demi, now's your chance to please throw them in the chats. We're going to be inviting Demi and Charlie back onto the sofa now to share some comments with them and get to know them a little bit better too. First to the studio, have we got any questions through at all, Jason? Well, I've got one to start us off. Demi, your song choice tonight, you've done so many in your career so far and performed so many. Why did you choose that? What was the inspiration behind your performance tonight?
Yeah, I chose Far From the Home I Love because I kind of related to like leaving home. I've left home twice. I've went to Camp America and just left, and as well when I went to university, it's not in my home city or anywhere near, quite to be honest. So I had to leave, and it was about like saying goodbye and like doing things for yourself. So that's why I related to it and chose that song.
Oh, that's me. I love the connection there. And actually, a question for you, Charlie, that is in around your costume. Are those proper fairy wings? I mean, how did you come up with that? Was that something out of the fancy dress box?
It is. I'll just grab them. So yeah, these are actually ladybird wings. And lack of resources meant I had to use tissue paper because obviously I was an angel, not a ladybird. So desperate times.
Were you an unruly student when you were in class, thinking back to the monologue, Charlie, and just thinking, how did you connect with that character?
As a student, I'd say I was better behaved in England than when I lived in Ghana. I was pretty wild. But yeah, no, I think that the character of Miss Beverly that I played, she's quite different from myself, which is why like I especially enjoyed sort of diving into the character and being someone, you find those pieces inside yourself that aren't necessarily alike, but there's similarities that you pick up. So yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Well, great stuff there. Thanks very much. And let's just share a comment from the audience. Charlie, what have we got here? Congratulations, both excellent performances from Mally Reese. Thank you, Mally, for that. Quick question back to yourself, career-wise, to me. What are you up to the moment? How is lockdown for you? How are you keeping yourself busy?
To be fair, to be quite honest, I'm not the most busy. I have been practicing and just doing like self tapes and trying to like keep in touch with my agent and make sure a lot of things are running smoothly. But that's it. That's all you can do, to be honest, is just stay in the loop and hope that things come through.
Well, keep on at it, to me, because it will do for sure with your talent. We've got this lovely compliment here for you. For those who can't read it, it says, such a lovely voice to me. Would that be your go-to audition song? Oh, question from Stephanie. Thanks, Stephanie.
Oh, thanks, Stephanie. I think I don't know because it depends kind of what I'm auditioning for. So I feel like if it was quite a more of like not classical, but more of a older musical or a different voice type, then I would use that. But if I was auditioning for like Mean Girls, then I would use something more contemporary. But yeah, it is in my rep. It is a staple. So.
Nice. Well, it's a good one to have. Over to Charlie for a quick question. I was just thinking, we talked about who you were basing, who your character was on, but the character you were speaking to, the teacher, what did you do for that psychologically, Charlie? How did you connect with that? Did you use someone real from the past?
Well, there's definitely a couple of teachers that spring to mind. It's funny because I was chatting to Alex about it during a rehearsal, and she said that it reminded her of a teacher. Pardon?
Oh, sorry, go on, Charlie.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, so Alex, who wrote it, was saying it reminded her of a teacher. And after she said that, I thought back to a couple of teachers that it really reminded me of at my primary school as well. So yeah, I think you definitely draw from people that you've had experiences with in the past, and that kind of makes it more real as well, because then you're using your experience that you've lived rather than just plucking it out of thin air. So that helps a lot.
Yeah. And did you, for the nativity play, when you were in the nativity play, because I'm sure we all were at some point,
Yes.
or I hope we all were, what parts did you get?
So I was Mary, actually.
Wow.
I know. I was mega, biggest role of my life. Yeah, there was one point though where I had this poor boy was cast as the donkey, and there was one point where I had to sit on him, and he was the donkey, and he had to crawl across the stage. And looking back on it, I'm just like, that poor boy. Oh.
Okay. Sorry, I'm getting more questions and comments coming in from the studio here. Thank you for that, Charlie. We could go on talking way more about that. I'm going to go back to Demi for a minute. What's your favourite style of musical theatre?
I think my favorite style, I don't know, because you could ask me at different points in the day and it'll be a different style of musical. I think my favorite musical is Kinky Boots. So what style, that contemporary, I guess that style is. Yeah, it's just like Kinky Boots, I guess, Hamilton, but it honestly depends on the time of day. I'll change my mind every 2 minutes. So
And what about yourself, Charlie?
What's my favorite musical?
Yeah.
Miss Saigon is personally my favorite. Obviously isn't on at the moment, so I hope they bring it back when this is all over. I hope one day they bring it back.
I'm with you there, Charlie. And actually, it's interesting, this whole thing about nativity as well. It just cast my mind back, because I remember doing it myself in Scotland, up in the Highlands, and I think I was cast. Oh yeah, I was cast as one of the three wise men. Really, 90s Scottish primary school casting, huh? Right.
I love that.
Anyway, guys, we got to move on because time is ticking on by. Suffice to say, now the important thing is we're going to have a short interval. Thank you very much so far to our performers, Demi and Charlie. Great to get us started. We're going to give you all a 2-minute break now to refresh. And in the interlude, we're going to have Stephanie McGarry, the wonderful acting musician, come back and play a piece of one of my favorite, in fact, one of my wife's favorite piano pieces, actually, to just cover the interval. See if you recognize it. If you do, please let us know what you think it is in the chat. See you in a couple of minutes. Stephanie, take it away. Stephanie, thank you very much for that live version of. Did anybody guess it, studio? No guesses? Of Yamura, which is brilliant. I often listen to that to go to sleep with. So thank you very much, Stephanie. Stephanie will be back with the musical theatre number in a short while. Quick thing about our mission and purpose at Arts for Essential Workers, and that's to say we are all about performance for a purpose. That purpose being connecting arts with essential workers and their families. What we want to do with the art that we share and the work that we have tonight, the podcast that we have, is to encourage conversation and dialogue through the arts. We feel that actually talking about things, sharing our stories, helps ease the stresses and strains of everyday life. And in particular, what we're doing tonight is raising donations, donation money for afew to allow us to continue with this mission. And it's a mission that aims to prevent the number of mental health and stress-related injuries from rising, which we believe we can do with the stories that this wonderful talent and ensemble are sharing tonight. But at the same time, we're also raising money for a charity, and we have a different charity every month. This month's charity is our charity partner, lookup.live. Lookup partnered with us and is actually focused on raising money, raising awareness for digital well-being for youth in particular. They're quite big and growing in the United States when it comes to being in colleges, in universities, and in schools and promoting the idea of digital well-being. You can donate to us, of course, via our website, arts4ew.org. You can just see it in the little ticker below. And those donations will part, as I say, go to afew and to Look Up. Okay, thank you very much for that, Jason, and sharing those points there from the studio. Now on to our next act, which is a duologue tonight from George Seymour and Anne-Rose van der Veel. Now, George graduated from Arts Ed in 2019. Most recently, he has played Duke Orsino at the Greenwich Theatre Studios with Sneaky Rhombus Productions, and recently finished filming as young Misha for the feature film Tummy-Ache. After graduating from Arts Ed in 2019, Anne-Rose van der Veel has gone on to co-found the theatre company Fancy Another? The company developed their first show, Shaping Dust, about a woman living with Alzheimer's and her relationship with her daughter, which debuted at the Cockpit Theatre in London earlier in 2020. Tonight's performance is written by George and Anne-Rose, and to set the context for the scene, here we go. Yogella! The biggest yoga online personality the world has ever seen, and you are finally going to meet her. In real life. Online.
Hi, Yogella. I am your biggest Yogella bear, and I can't believe the day has finally come. Today is the most important day of my life because I am finally meeting you. So obviously, before coming here, I started with yesterday's Sunday sun salutation, yoga for anxiety, and it's definitely one of the best you have ever done. It was just speaks to me, you know, and it just really works, you know? I mean, of course, you know, because you created them. So anyway, I am vlogging this live so that all of my 16 followers can witness your reaction live. And after that, oh my God, Yogella and Amy, me, oh my God, we can look back on this. We could do a collab video and react to it when we start doing videos together. That would be so insane. But for now, comment, rate, subscribe.
Yes. Can I help you?
Yeah, I'm just visiting a friend.
Yeah, I think you got the wrong flat.
No, I'm pretty sure I'm in the right place. Do you mind? It's a surprise.
Yeah, sorry. So she doesn't normally take visitors during Monday.
Monday meditation, yeah, I know. Last week's was so inspiring, getting back to the true you. It just really grounded me, you know, despite living on the 15th floor.
Oh, I know. I mean, it was clear from the comments that it was exactly what the fans needed. It was just so good for centering the heart and mind.
And even though it was raining,
you can always bring the sun to your heart.
So do you work for her? Would you mind? Could you film me giving her this, please?
Okay, yeah, no, here we go again. What does it say this time? Dear Yogella, I am your biggest fan, your most loyal Yogella bear. What the hell is this?
Well, it's a letter. I mean, you're not really meant to
hang
be.
On. I saw in one of your videos that you have a bottle of Marc Jacobs Daisy on your nightstand, and I bought one myself and spray it on my pillow every night so I can feel close to you, like I'm sleeping next to you. Look at this. A badly written letter, a poorly photoshopped photo, and a half-melted chocolate.
Yeah, well, it was my last Rolo, and
yeah.
I just thought she might appreciate it because, you know, her videos, I mean, she's done so much for me, so I just wanted to get back in return. Why are you recording me?
For evidence. I want you going to see the kind of nutters that come to her door.
I am not a nutter! What?
Just be quiet.
Well, why?
It's Monday meditation.
Yeah, but it's almost over.
Please.
So, oh my God, we're almost there. And this is so exciting, and it's so amazing because your manager, he can film us. You're the manager, yeah? You work for her, right?
Please, I think we should go.
So, do you work for her? Who are you?
I help your girl out with some things.
Does she know that you work for her?
She needs me.
So, no.
No, listen, because actually I help her out because I found out where she lived and got the flat below, so I can stop people like you from interrupting Monday meditation. And the thing is, I stop flies going in, I stop, if she eats that Rolo, think of her figure, right? I'm kind of like her quality content filter, and I know one day she's going to see all the work I do, all the work I put in, and be like, oh my God, that guy, he's perfect. He's pretty much my manager. I know, I'll make him my manager, so yeah, I'm her manager.
You are actually insane.
No, because I'm not the one turning unannounced, right, to deliver this.
You're pretending to work for her. Does she know you have her whole schedule?
No, okay, right, but at least I haven't got terrible calligraphy and half-melted chocolate.
Yeah, but I didn't move into the flat below her.
Yeah, well, you really need to work on your Photoshop skills.
Rolo?
Right, okay. I would like to blame the technology, but it's purely down to me not being able to press the unmute button. Let me just rerun that again. A bit of a sun salutation and lotus pose there in tribute to the Yokella acts. Brilliantly done, George and Anna Rose. And they will, of course, be back for you when we hold the final Q&A at the end. But we do now have to move on to our next act, which is our penultimate act tonight. And we're going to be bringing you now Henry Mubairu. Henry trained at the Identity School of Acting, the Unseen Drama School, and in 2020 completed his acting diploma at the Royal Central School of Speech and Drama. He's currently unrepresented, but is an up-and-coming talent that we are proud to showcase for you tonight via a piece written by Owen Landon. Now, Owen is an actor and now a writer who graduated from East 15 in 2017. As an actor, he has performed in a yearly rep season on tour for Paul Taylor Mills and in Henry V at Regent's Park Open Air Theatre. Tonight is a landmark moment for Owen, as this is his first commissioned piece of writing. Now, to set the scene, Henry is playing the part of Jordan in a monologue that looks at the controversy around sex education to include LGBTQIA+. Over to you, Henry, aka Jordan.
Morning all. Now can everybody hear me?
Yes.
We've all got sound?
Yes.
Carol, just join with your computer. Oh, she can't hear me, can she? Can somebody message Carol and get her on board?
Oh, for God's sake.
What was that, Jordan?
Nothing. Sorry. I thought I was muted.
Right. Oh, good. Carol's here. Right, we can get started. First point on the agenda, food bank. The quiches have been surprisingly popular, but kidney beans are piling up, so whoever's on that duty could just be sure to pop a few of those in every bag. That'd be great. Next, lunch cover. If everything went well yesterday, I think we just go with that again today. Yes? Lovely. Now, the serious point of today, it's that time of year again, and we need to broach the topic of sexual education with our year 6, which I know Jordan and Alicia have been getting deep into, so to speak.
Nice phrasing, Keith.
As ever, this info went out in the newsletter and has quickly become the main topic in my inbox and the pickup queue.
Nothing new there then.
Now, as we all know, this year we're planning to tackle the themes of relationships, puberty, and introducing LGBTQIA+ awareness. However, this has not gone down well at all. Many parents have threatened to withdraw their children from all of these sessions, and there are rumours of a petition coming our way. Gemma and I had a discussion yesterday with the parent panel, and in order to avoid a Parkfield picket situation, we have come to the compromise of continuing our sex and relationship sessions, but we will be withdrawing the LGBTQIA+ sessions until we have a chance to review the situation. Now, obviously, this is not ideal for us, but we do have to maintain a balance.
You have got to be fucking kidding me. I mean, why? Why is this still up for discussion? I mean, it's in the curriculum, it's in the law. We are the school. We teach. We teach them what they need to be taught, not what their parents think they need to know. If we left it up to them, half of them would be fucked. I'm sorry, it's just, we've planned it. We've put thought into it. I have put thought into it because I care. And surprisingly, I got into this job because I actually want to teach and try and make some sort of difference and actually teach. I mean, come on. What are these people expecting us to do? Chuck on Brokeback Mountain and just say, have at it? It's a lesson, not a conversion. We're here to teach them about the worlds they live in and that the world is huge and scary and diverse and beautiful and normal. When did it change? When did the teachers lose all authority? They used to be respected and listened to. When did parents start doing whatever they want and schools just have to bend over backwards to stop them throwing a hissy fit in the middle of the street? It's just so infuriating. They see gay and they don't think boy likes boy or girl likes girl. They think gay sex. That's all it is. Sex. And that's just not the reality. Nobody looks at a little boy and girl playing together and thinks, oh, they want to have sex with each other. They go, oh, how cute is that little Rush and Khadijah playing together? They must like each other. It's not about sex. They just see a relationship. It's these sex-obsessed parents that are the issue. It's all they think about, and it's all they shout about. As if the second you tell their kids they can like whoever they want, they are going to become obsessed with each other's genitals. It's like the new Pokemon Go. Oh my days. You cannot teach someone to be gay. That's not how it works. And it's not what it's about. It's about crushes and feelings you don't fully understand. Not just for the queer kids, but for everyone. It's just even harder for the queer ones because it's never spoken about. So we should be speaking about it. It's our job to explain how sometimes they might look at someone and their tummy might go funny, or they might get tingly and get hot cheeks and not know what to say. And that's normal and it's okay. It doesn't matter who it is. And it doesn't matter if you don't feel like that about anyone. It's all just fucking feelings and it's all fucking fine. Surely it's better to know all of this so that they know how to be themselves, whatever that might be, and whatever they are able to just be safe. Oh, and before any parent or even any staff comes back at me and says, I only want to teach this to push my own personal agenda. No, it's got nothing to do with that. I want to teach it so they have what I didn't, what I and millions of other people like me weren't allowed. We weren't allowed to know we were valid and that we could be ourselves and exist in a world without fear of others or even fear of ourselves. And most importantly, is to keep them safe and to know what is safe. I didn't know any of this stuff and I wish I did. I wish I had. I didn't know how to take care of myself or anyone I loved. And that was terrifying. No child deserves to think that they don't deserve to be a part of this world. They do. They all do. I do. If anyone thinks this doesn't apply to our school, they are bullshitting themselves. Of course we have queer kids here. I mean, has anyone even met Jax? I mean, not to stereotype, but come on. There are obvious people are here, and there are loads more who you can't even guess. Oh, and guess what? We have queer staff too. I know that might shock some of you, but then again, why would you know? I've never felt like I could even bring my partner to a staff meal because I have got a partner. So the questions about when am I going to find a nice girl and settle down can stop. I'm fine. But I've never brought him. You know why? I was too scared that people might change how they looked at me. And that right there is why it is so important that we teach them about it now so that they don't end up an adult, happy, in love, but too scared to say that person's name at work or to think that another person is lesser than because their love is different. No one ever spoken about it when I was at school. Gay was bad and that was it. And God forbid we knew anything else on the spectrum. Bi, lesbian, queer, asexual, pansexual. I could keep going. Not because, oh, they come up with a new label every week, but because there are a million ways to love. I was never told that, and I bet no one else was. I was told that teachers taught you what was right and what was wrong. So if nobody's talking about it, it must be wrong. So how do you think I felt when I got those funny feelings in my tummy and all I knew was that it was not okay? But it fucking was. Rather than running to my mom to tell her that I fancy someone at school, like the straight kids, I ran home and cried and prayed not to feel like that anymore. I thought I was the only one, and why wouldn't I? Where were the stories, the songs, films about people like me? Well, they are out there now, and our kids deserve to know. They shouldn't have to go to someone to ask to see these books. They should just be there, like all the other books. Why are we shaming kids for feeling different and feeling like they have to label themselves and tell everyone that they're just trying to work out who the hell they are? And these books are for everyone because those stories are just as normal and just as valid as every cis, white, hetero fairy tale to have ever been written. It's just, I don't know. Everyone deserves to feel accepted and to be taught how to accept others. I know I've got it better than people before me, but it's my job to make it even better for the people who come next. Why is it so hard for people to understand? I just don't get it. It's just not fucking fair.
So I do think that for the time being, this will have to be how we go forward. Not perfect, but we have to work with what we can. I don't want to push the point too much, but I hope we can work with this. Does anybody have anything they want to add?
Yes. Actually, I do.
Thanks very much, guys. I think the thing for me is that triggers is the beauty about storytelling is that we can address so much through the stories that we tell, through the art that we share. That was certainly had a poignant and thought-provoking impact for me. And if it did for you, did trigger anything, stories or comments, compliments, please again share them away on YouTube and Facebook with us, and we'll share it with the talent. The guys will all be back very shortly after we bring you our final act tonight, which we have Scotland Stephanie McGarry coming home and bringing the baton home tonight. Steph is a writer, actor, and musician originally from Fife, Scotland. After graduating from the Guildford School of Acting, she has worked across the UK in productions ranging from open air Shakespeare to a musical adaptation of the much loved TV show Friends. She self-produced and released her first album in October last year. And tonight, Steph will be performing her own song, Uni. Take it away, Steph.
I wish I could go back to uni. I would do better this time. I left with a second, 'cause everything beckoned to me. I wish I could go back to uni and savor the freedom I had. I'd leave with a second, but I wouldn't waste one more second of it feeling sad. Life is a way of telling you when to let go of the things that you missed, when to forget all the problems you had and the people who you never kissed. And though we are faced with uncertainty and a world that is changing each day, don't wish you could go back to uni. It wouldn't be how you remembered anyway. I wish I could go back to uni. I would be kinder this time. I wouldn't let in all the voices that wanted to wage civil war on my mind. Oh, I wish I could go back to you, and not because of my pain. 'Cause wishing and wanting is only for haunting the memories you can't make again. And life is a way of telling you when to let go of the things that you missed, when to forget all the problems you had and the people who you never kissed. And though we are faced with uncertainty and a world that is changing each day, don't wish you could go back to uni. It wouldn't be how you remembered. Don't wish you could go back to uni. You can become your own shelter. Don't wish you could go back to uni. It wouldn't be how you remembered anyway.
You've got no sound, Nelson.
Right, so I think I'm going to have to put on a massive post in front of me that says Nelson unmute. Thank you, Cass, for reminding me I have no sound. That's completely taken away the emotion that I had for the powerful impact of both Owen Landon's written work, Henry's authentic performance, and Stephanie McGarry's wonderful original piece of music there, Uni. Got this line here, Steph. I wish I could go back to uni. Is that true? Is that you speaking?
It wasn't actually. It was that is one of the very few not personal written songs. There's elements of it because you do get a bit nostalgic, but it actually happened because a couple of days ago I was avoiding my responsibilities, so I was avoiding everything I was supposed to be doing, and asked on my Instagram story if people would give me a little challenge. So would give me subject matter, a title, and a major or minor key, and then I would try and write a song in less than 10 minutes using those things. So that was one that came out because someone said, I want you to write about leaving uni with a 2-1 and wanting to go back and do better. So I went, okay, and wrote the first kind of little verse and chorus for that. And then when Katie was like, oh, you need to, I'd forgotten that I had to do a second song. I went, oh, bother. So I went to this song and just finished it basically yesterday, and then that's where it ended up today.
I'm hearing this rightly. I'm hearing this correctly. You wrote this yesterday.
I finished it up yesterday. Yeah.
Finished it up yesterday. Brilliant. Brilliant.
This is nervous looking down to my lyrics. I don't know if you caught that.
Well, no. I mean, maybe the audience did. We're going to share some comments from the audience shortly, maybe a couple of questions. But Steph, I certainly didn't. And to me, it was as if you'd had that in your back pocket for some kind of audition piece. That's how it came across. So well done.
Thank you.
You've done Scotland proud, that's for sure. Okay, we got a comment there. What's that? Is there anything I can find? Okay, so we got a question from Stephanie for Stephanie. Stephanie Mac for Stephanie McGarry. Get that. Is there anywhere I can find that song online?
When this is published, it'll be online. Apart from that, I am intent. Someone had suggested to me. I think it would be good because I made a few. I called them 10-minute bops, which was really thinking quite highly of myself calling them bops. But someone suggested that I make an EP with the ones that I wrote, finish them off, and then properly record them and release it as an EP. So I thought, yeah, I'll probably do that. So it will be, Steph. Keep your eyes peeled, and it'll be out somewhere.
Sorry, thank you very much, Steph. We have another comment that's just come in. It's from Moa Meyerson. It makes me think of the song from Avenue Q. Oh,
it was based off that. That was part of the brief. The person said, "I want you to write something 2-1." I'm thinking, I wish I could go back to college from Avenue Q. So, way.
Well done.
Purely copyrighted from that. I'm waiting to be sued.
Brilliant. I want to go over now to Owen. Sorry, actually, we'll work back. So a question here for Owen, Landon, and George. Let's start with Owen. Owen, what do you prefer? We know you can do both now, writing or acting, having done that.
Oh God. I started out as an actor. Definitely, that was the thing that I've been doing since I was a little kid and stuff. And went to drama school with Katie and been through all that stuff. And I kind of just got into writing steadily more and more over the last couple of years when I kind of got bored of waiting for jobs to come along and like the right part to fit you. And I was like, well, if it's not there, if I write the part for me and I cast myself in it, I'll get the job. So it's a pretty nice one. And yeah, so I definitely like writing because it does give an outlet. I think I write more for screen than stage, but I definitely prefer performing on stage because you get the live audience and there's nothing quite like that.
Yeah, well, thanks for sharing that. We've got some comments coming through here. One from Molly, which is such a powerful piece by Owen and Henry, and an important conversation to be had in the educational environment. Absolutely. Henry, let's move to you for a question. And please keep on writing, Owen, because you've got something there. You know, you've got some talent there for sure. Henry, how did you find that authenticity tonight? Because I definitely connected with your work.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, it was such a beautifully written piece that I even had the pleasure to perform it, and I think a lot of people can relate to it in one way or another, regardless of whether it's directly related to you. I think everyone can relate to that idea of like being passionate about something and wanting change. I think it's something that a lot of people do really aspire to, like really just push for our society today. So when I read Owen's piece, it just resonated with me so much, and I just know that it'll probably resonate with a lot of people too in terms of like really having that change in regards to the education system. So yeah, I mean, it was honestly a pleasure to perform this.
Well done, Henry. We look forward to seeing more work from you in the future. Let's move on now to George and Anna Rose, a co-authored piece. Could you just give us a little bit on the devising for that? What was the inspiration behind Yogella? Brilliantly done and very entertaining, by the way. Let's go with Anna Rose first.
We're good. Well, with lockdown, it's been kind of hard to try and keep like the juices flowing, and because we were in a bubble together, we just thought let's write a scene together, and we were just thinking of our two casting types, and we just went from there really, and came up with stock.
So George, do you do yoga? I mean, I love this idea of stock talk.
I mean, like, so obviously I didn't before. I did a bit in drama school, but then obviously during lockdown there was Yoga with Adrian, which like absolutely I think everyone knows. And we thought about Yoga with Adrian and then like this whole Zoella performance as well, and kind of meshed them two together. To answer your question, I did. It was a good week. They're to the past now.
I have to say to everyone, just to give everyone a bit of backstage access, the technical rehearsals behind all of these, obviously minimal amount of time we had to prepare, but well done to you guys for juggling the mobile phone switches, the creativity behind technical faults, and even the rate, like, subscribe, loving that, and loving the talent we've got on show for you all tonight with all the work they've done. In fact, let's just have a round of applause for a moment, please, and share some of the comments we've got in the studio, which we've got loads. Well done to that talent. We're going to bring in Katie Cole, our artistic director, just to share some closing thoughts before we finish. Katie, did that go the way you planned it tonight for your education-themed vision?
Yes, hello. Yes, you know what? It went so much better than I could have thought. I was saying to you, Nelson, in our tech, and this was sort of towards me and Steph, because I direct the theatre pieces. I am not musically talented. My family will vouch for that. I don't really see much of musical stuff before the show, so I come into tech and I meet these beautiful songs. And so I was just blown away in tech today. And so I'm so proud of everybody. And then the pieces really came together. I want to give a round of applause to Jason, who is our creative director behind the scenes, who is like crouching next to Nelson right now doing all of our tech, because we really plowed him with it this with having Owen and Henry, having our like phone switching of Anna, Rose, and George. You know, we made him work for it, but I think it came together perfectly, and I'm so very proud of everyone. I thought some really wonderful pieces were created this evening.
Great. Well, we'll have a word with all the cast in the virtual green room afterwards, shall we, Katie? But we have another comment from the audience. I think it's a question for Anna, Anna, Rose, and George. What's that question, Jason? Anna, Rose, and George. George's piece was absolutely hilarious. What inspired you to write that? I think we got an answer to that. But look, George, I never got your take on it. So what would be your take to build on Anna Rose's opening point?
Well, we obviously as well looked at, Joe Wicks's PE, and thinking about like how many people are tuning into that during lockdown and everything, and just kind of how that is also in itself a form of, I guess, education when the schools were closed and everything else. But then there's also this weird thing of obviously your teachers aren't meant to have an online presence. Joe Wicks does. And so it's a very weird dichotomy of you're learning from them, but then there's also a selling thing. And so that's kind of a bit of inspiration as well.
Oh, I love that. And Anna Rose, any other thoughts on that before we move on?
Well, yeah, but with lockdown, you have a lot of because it's interesting with yoga, because there are so many yoga like YouTube channels and everything, but there's not really that two-way. So obviously the one who's what people are watching and doing the yoga, you're getting everything from the YouTuber, but they're not getting anything back. And so it was interesting to like get it from that side of things. Yeah, especially as we both tutor as well, and also via Zoom now. So it's interesting to put it in that way.
Love that, Anna Rose. Thank you for the perspective, guys. It's really good for me to get a grasp of that. I know it's fueling our creative team's ideas. Katie has a team working with her. She's got Dr. Keshav, Shri, and Jason. And I think, just as an idea here around the creative process, there's stories all around us. It's everybody, I feel, has a story to tell. And if you don't, actually, it doesn't take too far to look, and you reach something that is often entertaining, but many times, I think, more deeper. So thank you for your comments, everybody. I think I saw something flash past there about George being incredibly handsome. Secret admirers, of course. You've got everyone's Instagram handles now as well, so you can DM them. Now, Jason, is there another comment you wanted to share?
No.
Okay, I just want to bring in Charlie and Demi before we finish. We've got 1 minute. Charlie and Demi, any thoughts on, looking back or reflecting on lockdown, on essential workers and the whole coronavirus pandemic, and what we're doing tonight, our purpose, our mission here, performance power purpose, supporting essential workers and trying to prevent, mental health cases from rising and stress-related injuries. Your thoughts or stories about tonight and the impact that the arts you feel has for essential workers. Let's start with Charlie. maybe, how would art helped you, Charlie?
Oh, it's just so important. I feel like a lot of people's outlets come from creativity, whether it's, reading something, painting something, watching something. I know that we all obviously use theatre and things to sort of escape from ourselves. So I think that's so important. And like you said, these key workers, they're working so hard. And for people like, me personally, I can sit and do my yoga, cuddle my dogs and stuff, but that's not a luxury that a lot of people have. And I think it's important to note that your mental health and your physical health are two, they're on par. You have to balance them out. And I think having that creativity, doing things like this, whether it's for other people, like for the audience and for yourself, it's just so important. And yeah, I think it's great that
Charlie.
this exists. Yeah.
And thank you for sharing that on behalf of all of us, actually. I will go to Demi to get her take as we finish now. Demi, your take on the arts and the impact for essentially, do you feel like you've given back sharing your work tonight?
Yeah, I do agree with what Charlie's saying, and the fact that it's like escapism. And even though some people are still at work and some people are at home, those people that are at work don't get any other outlet because they're just constantly doing everything for us while we're all working from home and things like that. So even if you just give someone an hour of something that can make brighten their day, keep that person going, and they think that there's something after and something to look forward to rather than the mundane. And I just think that it's really important to keep people keep their spirits up and have a form of escapism through music or acting or anything that they can, that's not their norm, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely, Timmy. Well, thank you for that. And thank you for everybody, our talented ensemble. I said tonight we're bringing you high quality professional work, and I feel that we have delivered on that. Well done, cast. Well done, crew. Thank you to our patron, our advisory council members as well, and everybody who supports us, including yourself, the audience. Please share our message. We're here the last Thursday of every month. We'll be back in October. And in the meantime, if you believe in our mission, if you support the work that we do, please donate or support us via www.artsforew.org. That's it for this evening in September. We'll be back in 1 month's time. For now, good evening and good night.